I have not one, not two, but 3 versions of Bumblebee that are third party and very cool. I'm Captain Kyle. If you know who I am, welcome back to the channel. If you don't, welcome. We talk Transformers, and in this case, we're talking about third-party ones. Now, Bumblebee, pretty popular character. You know, he's no Shockwave, but still, he's known the world over as sometimes a guy who can talk and sometimes a guy who can't. But I have these 3 third-party versions. I have the Udom Man, Mini Toys Army Leader, right there. I have the KBB MCS02 Hornets Agent, and I have the CT001 Skiff from the Cybertech series, which obviously is an homage to his first appearance in the cartoon. And I'm going to go through each of these, and you can figure out which ones, or if all of them, would be good fits for your collection. Be right back. All right, so let's start with the Skiff. This is the one that is an homage to the original appearance on the show. In the not too distant past, Hasbro put out an Origins Bumblebee that might be a little closer to what he looked like in the show, but still, this is a cool one if you enjoy third party and if you just like to have every single fucking Bumblebee there is. But let's pop him out. Now, what's interesting, I got him at a local toy shop, but I will put links to him in the description. And this is a situation where it has a QR code that you scan in order to look at the instructions. But I was able to figure it out without using the instructions. So there he is, still in his plastic. He comes with an extra face that looks more like the toy version. He comes with 2 guns, and he comes with the Skiff. So let's take a look at the Skiff first. We'll put that on our turntable of doom. We'll get really close. And as you can see, he looks a lot like he did in the first episode when he transformed into his vehicle mode. He's got jets on the back here. Not a ton of detail color, just the black detailing for the windshield, but some molded details. He almost looks like a cousin to the Ark. He's got little, I don't know if that's to help with the wind on the back there. He's got notches along the front that again are very Ark-like. And his nose, yeah, he looks like a Skiff. Very similar, not exact to the actual one that was on the show, but still pretty cool. Now on the bottom, you can see he's got his legs in here. He's got these wheels that are almost like landing gear because he's a Skiff. Let's give him a roll test. He actually rolls pretty well. I've seen much worse in like actual Hasbro products. So rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep that Skiff rolling. So a pretty cool vehicle. I appreciate the homage to the original appearance in More Than Meets the Eye Part 1 on Cybertron. You'd really need a good size wheel jack for him to drive into the back. And width-wise, he is about 5, almost 5.5 inches wide. And from nose to jets, he's about 3 3/4, so much wider than he is long. And he's maybe slightly more than an inch tall. But a cool Skiff, a great homage to the original. All right, let's get him into his robot mode. Now the transformation is pretty clever, I must say. And the default face is definitely a great homage to the cartoon version of Bumblebee. Let's just bring that into sight here. Now he's got really big shoulder pads. I mean, it was the 80s when he came out. And I will say that the Origins version of Bumblebee is probably a little more streamlined, but still, this is a pretty cool version. And as someone who likes to have all kinds of Transformers, it's worth getting. Now, his other face, which you can apparently unscrew his current face and attach the old one, is much more reminiscent of the toy. And he has 2 guns that are identical. He only appears to be using one in his first appearance, though he's shooting at who knows what for his first shot. Did he think he saw something over there? Or was he trying to confuse the Decepticons? So there he is with his weaponry. Let's give you a view from all angles. I think I got it right, even though I didn't scan the QR code. You can see he almost has a jetpack on his back, which kind of makes sense considering the jetpack that he had when they discovered Dinobot Island. Again, he's got these really big shoulder pads, 2 guns, and his feet are very stable. Now, for posability, let's give him one more spin. He is very posable. He can do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. Of course, it helps to have his hands down in front to keep him from falling over. Now there's no ankle tilts, ankle swivels, anything like that. The feet can move a bit. You can point his toe a little bit, but that's pretty much it on the foot front. But he can kick forward, kick back, kick to the side, pretty dang high. In fact, his arms get in the way, it's so high. He bends at the knee. It's not a huge bend. You can't like bend it more than 90 degrees, but it's still a good thing there. And the legs swivel all the way around. So you can definitely put him in some dynamic poses. Now, as far as twisting at the waist, he does that. And it's not really even part of the transformation, just happens to be there. So that's a nice feature. Now his arms, if you move the entire plate around, his arms can go all the way around. And he can bend at the elbow. He can even swivel out to the side. And the fists can even turn. They are on ball joints, they can turn and even tilt up, which is part of the transformation as well, but it's a nice additional feature. So arm articulation is there. His head, as part of the transformation, turns around, so of course you can turn his head all the way around. Kind of hard to see with my hand in the way, but you can turn it. So overall, he's a very cool looking robot. Again, not quite as streamlined as the Hasbro one that they put out, but still, he's a little bit more of a shell former, you know, so you can join RC with that, but a nice homage to the original appearance. Next, let's take a look at Udom Man, the army leader. You can zoom in a little bit on that box. You can see him. It kind of looks like Goldbug in here. This is UI-01G, so I think his face is Goldbug-like. So this is kind of later in the series, but he's very small. Comes with instructions, you don't have to scan anything. He comes with a jetpack. And as you can see when you pop him out, there he is. A very small mini-bot style version of Goldbug. Because if you look at his face, he's definitely a Goldbug. Now, height-wise, in robot mode, he is a whopping 2.5 inches tall. But he's got some nice designs there. He's got the spare tire thing on his back. He's got a weapon. We can actually put the jetpack over the spare tire. He's got a blue head with lighter blue eyes and a silver face mask. Again, just like Goldbug, but there's no pullback Throttlebot action, trust me. Now, his posability, and Sky is here because she's a big fan of Bumblebee, right? Or me, one of the two. Now, he does have wide feet. He doesn't really have any type of ankle tilts, but you can still set him in a wide pose. Well, he has a slight ankle tilt, but it kind of goes the wrong way. So that's not very helpful. But the full Jean-Claude Van Damme, right, Sky? He can kick forward, though I will say he doesn't kick that great forward. Back is kind of meh, but side kick, do a hell of a side kick. Can he twist at the waist? He does not twist at the waist. So that's not a nice thing. But his leg does swivel all the way around. There's actually multiple ball joints. One's in the ankle, one's in the lower leg, the calf. So it can definitely go all the way around. The arms can go all the way around. He can bend at the elbow. He can swivel out to the side, all the way to the back. Now, because of his transformation, you can actually kind of move his shoulders back or forward. So he's got that going for him. The head can turn all the way around. And that's pretty much it. For a 2.5 inch tall action figure, that's pretty darn good. Now we're going to remove these weapons, give you one more view of him from all angles without the jetpack or the gun. And let's check out the vehicle mode. So there he is in his vehicle mode. As you can see, very nice Volkswagen Bug. It's a spare tire on the back. He's got wheels that fold out. Now these wheels don't move, so the roll test is really a slide test. You can slide it pretty well, but on a smooth surface. And unfortunately, there's not really a place for you to put his weapons. You could put the jetpack on the back because you still have the spare tire there. But that looks kind of weird, though it can probably get you around traffic. And there's not really a place to put the gun. But still 2.5 inches tall. In vehicle mode, it's 2 inches long. So you can't expect a ton from such a small bot. But he's actually very poseable. The transformation is very clever. I like it. I like it very much. All right, and now we're on to the KBB Hornets Agent. Woohoo! Now, I will say I've already examined the transformation on these guys because I don't want to fumble around too much and make my editor mad at me. But I will say that the actual transformation on this guy, very, very similar, though he is bigger. And his gun is a little bit different of a shape. And having bumblebees with guns is something most Transformers collectors who collected G1 aren't all that used to, just because in the old days, Bumblebee didn't have any guns. He was a mini-bot. he didn't get a gun until he became a pretender. Right, Sky? So there he is in his bot mode. Let me show you all the angles. Actually looks very similar in a lot of ways to the one we just looked at. Though his face is definitely, and his head is definitely classic G1 with the horns and the actual mouth and all that stuff. He's got the gun, which you actually have to kind of push it down in there so it snaps into place so it doesn't fall out. But it does look like the gun that he used in the very first episode. Right, Sky? You've seen that with me. Now, detailing, he's got light blue eyes, a pale white face. He's got the painted windows. He's got a little bit of deco as far as the bumper is black, headlights are gray. But yeah, a very cool version of Bumblebee. Now, his posability is actually pretty much the same as the 2.5-inch one. Full Jean-Claude Van Damme. He can kick forward, kinda. He can kick back, kinda. Good side kick, no twisting at the waist, arms go all the way around, and you can kind of move them back and forth a little bit, and the head all the way around. However, if you spin it too much, the head falls apart. It's designed, it looks like, so that you could actually have a different head on there. And if you do take it apart, when you put it back together, you need to put it back together over the ball joint because it's ball joint's too large to just pop. But it's a nice slot there. Push it together, squeeze it, and his head's there. I mean, if you want to do a reenactment of the G.I. Joe versus the Transformers original comic book where he gets blown to bits, by all means, can blast his face apart. But a cool looking version of Bumblebee. Looks very G1-ish. All right, let's get him into his vehicle mode. And again, the transformation, virtually identical to the other one. I will say when I took him out of the package the first time, he's got wheels that are inside here that you swing out. But in the package, they were already swung out and were next to his hips in robot mode. So I had to adjust that because he's basically fold out. And they were just like that, which you can have him in robot mode that way, but it doesn't look nearly as nice. So there is the Hornet Agent in his vehicle mode. Now, even though it's bigger and you would think it would be better than the smaller one, it actually doesn't stay together quite as well. There's more cracks along it, and I don't know if it's just me. I mean, it's certainly possible. But yeah, it doesn't seem to want to stay together. Again, if you have this and you can see something that I'm doing wrong, please let me know. I played around with the inner legs to make it stay together better, but that hasn't solved all the issues. But it's still a cool looking version of Bumblebee. Vehicle mode, he's about 3 inches tall, and in robot mode he is like 3.5. I should have measured him before I transformed him. I definitely like his robot mode better than his vehicle mode, but come on, he's a transformer. We should like both. Also, when you're transforming him, his limbs are more likely to pop off, but you can put him back on. Not that big of a deal. But I do find it interesting that the much smaller version seems to be nicer. Do you concur? Also, the smaller one does not have the tendency for his head to fall apart. Again, easy to put back together, but seems to pop apart way too easily. Yeah, in robot mode, he's about 4 inches tall. So a decent sized bot. Definitely cool in robot mode. I had a couple problems with his vehicle mode, and the smaller version seems to stay together much better. So there you have them. 3 third-party versions of Bumblebee in various sizes, in various forms, kind of like first appearance, later appearance, and then Goldbug. And all pretty cool, though again, I would say ranking-wise, I would definitely put this one last just because of the trouble that I had transforming him into his vehicle mode. Got to flip down the tires. But still, I'm glad I have him. He will go into my Bumblebee case, which is already too crowded as it is. And of course, I'll put links to all these guys in the description. The Skiff is pretty much something that you'd have to find on eBay. The other 2 are through AliExpress. The Udom Man, he was a total of $17.83. That includes tax, and the shipping, I believe, was free. Though oddly, this guy who's bigger was only like $9. So go figure. Might be worth getting, just have them for $9. And the Skiff, again, you'll have to look on eBay. I'll have a link so that you can do a quick search in the description. And I really hope you are enjoying these reviews as much as I enjoy making them. And while you're debating over which of these you should get, if any, or if you want to get them all, you can check out this video over here, which is actually another mini bot, but a third-party version of Gears. Will be coming out in deluxe size soon anyway, but still worth checking out. We will see you next time. Right, Sky? As always, have fun and good hunting.